Hello everyone, Comrade Osprey here and welcome back to another Call to Arms Gates of Hell ostfront video. This one is going to be different from my usual uploads, which are cinematic highlights. This one is more of a unit guide. So unit guide for German factions. So without further ado, let's get started. Also, I won't be covering every unit because it would make this video quite a bit long. I'd rather be sticking to the special unit that you could use alongside regular riflemen and regular infantry. So let's start. The first one we have is the Brandenburger squad. You can this one has quite a lot of strengths. First we talk about firepower, which is spectacular. You get like 2 MG42s, 2 MP38s, and quite a lot of carbines. So you could do is that send in these as assault team. These guys stay at the back, and these guys provide cover to all of these guys. So yeah, a really great squad, great for ambushing, great for commando tactics, and great for aggressive gameplay against enemy emplacements. And that's how you could just use these guys to sneak up on the enemy emplacements, like machine gun nests, anti-tank guns, anti-tank guns, anti-air guns. And these guys are really versatile, and as a matter of fact they're like really cheap. You can have quite a lot of these squads stacked up here in your units line. Next one we have the late war Brandenburger squads. Basically the same thing, except for the fact that one of them comes with the STG44 and 2 of them with G43, the rest with 4 of them with Kar98, so 2 with MG42s. But the main difference is like these 5 Panzerfaust 100s. Quite a potent weapon, like 200mm penetration at 50 meters, much better than Panzerschrecks or the Panzerfaust 60. It could wreck the IS-2 tank from up front with ease, but don't try it. Just stay on your side, stay on the tank side and ambush them. You don't have to go right in front of them. Now we have the paratrooper line, quite a lot of them. That's Fallschirmjäger squads, Fallschirmaufklärer squad, motorized Fallschirmjäger squad 1944, like quite a lot of them. There are 4 of them which are 7 of them which are exclusive to this mod only. The Pioneers, Fallschirm Pioneer squad, the Fallschirmjäger squads, Fallschirm Paradrop squad. You can paradrop right behind enemy lines, although I don't recommend because these guys would be isolated, and given that how hard this mod is, I'd rather advise against these guys. Waste of resources. Go for this guy, Fallschirmaufklärer. Same skill set as the Brandenburger squads, much more smaller but as much as deadly. 2 MG42s, 1 FG42, 1 MP40, 1 rifle grenadier and 1 rifleman, along with one Panzerfaust 100. So really great for ambushing tactics. And if there's an enemy flank happening at either of your flanks, these guys can deal with them as easily. They would scout them, mark them for our tanks, and they would just destroy the enemy armor, and these guys would pin down the enemy infantry. Really potent unit. I use them quite a lot paired alongside the Brandenburger squads. Really helpful in long conquest. Then we have the Sturmjäger squads. These guys absolute beasts, even though that they're regular infantry, but you can use them in specialized roles as well. You get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Sturmgewehrs, 2 Panzerfaust 100s, 1 MG42, 2 G43s. Absolute menace of a firepower these guys have. Quite a lot of experience level with the RPG, rifle, pistol, SMG, MG. These guys are total beasts. I mean, if you want a dedicated assault squad for aggressive pushes into enemy territory. These guys are the ones you should really go for. The next ones we have are the BX Jaeger squads, really on par with the Brandenburger squad when it comes to stamina. No, they have more stamina than the Brandenburger. So yeah, these guys are absolute beasts. A little bit less movement speed, but you can compromise on that. Or if you want to have that movement speed, you can go for Gebirgsaufklärer 1944. They have this one Panzerfaust, one Sturmgewehr, two MP40s, one MG42. Quite a lot of firepower for a mountain squad, I'd rather say. Quite a lot of experience as well. Really great squad overall. So that's enough for the infantry. I mean, also have these Panzer Schreck teams or anti-tank squads alongside with your regular squads, because the AI is notorious of spanning all kinds of their tanks with all kinds of their tanks like IS-2, T-34, 85, T-34, 76. So you must have multiple of these guys, because you can't rely on tanks, as you can't stack them all in all of these. Max you can have is like 8 to 10 tanks, even if you could manage small infantry numbers. So that's it for the infantry. Let's head for the support weapons. The MG42 Lafayette, really potent weapon, when it comes to holding the ground against waves of enemy infantry, which the enemy will eventually spawn as the game progresses. The Flak 88. My only gripe with this gun is that it's stationary. I'm messing it up. It's this guy. It's like really slow. It also has less penetration value than the upgun Flag 88, but you can it's up to you. This one has concealment. This gun has better traverse than this gun, so you can go for either of these emplacements if you want. Yeah, but don't go for the P shooters like 4.7, 2.8, or any other like these guys. Oh no, not that. This guy. Yeah, I mean, you can use this for taking out enemy infantry for how fast it fires, but please don't use against the enemy armor. Then we have okay, now many of you guys are fan of this big guy mortars, but I don't use these guys much often. I more rely on machine guns, anti-air guns, and the anti-tank guns. Now we come to the support vehicles, and there are a lot of like half tracks, armored cars, and etc. But I will only cover like one or two of them, three of them maybe. The first one on my priority list is this guy. This guy is a total beast. 3 fast firing 15mm machine guns, makes a total Swiss cheese out of enemy infantry and the enemy light armor. Make sure you have at least 3 of these to stave off enemy aircraft, or because they would just attack you early on when your infantry squads are set up in a blob right at the edge of the map. And also have supporting infantry with this, in case enemy stuff tries to flank it from right or left, because it can't traverse its turret fully. It would just like barely cover 40-90 degrees, maybe even less, 70 to 60 degrees of angle. But I'd rather avoid these guys because these are heavy and really slow. I'd rather, if you want dedicated anti-air weapon, you can go for the Wirbelwind, like the ones here. But it's more of a glass cannon. These guys are all glass cannons. But if you love role playing, that you should definitely go for these guys. Now The next supporting vehicle is the STKFZ 234/1 2 cm Puma, the late war variant. This guy is incredibly fast. Its APCR would just straight up shred enemy light armor like T26s, which and T70s from the side. Plus, its fast firing 2 cm HE gun would just shred enemy infantry and keep them off your heavy armor. The STKFZ 234/2, really potent weapon, 85 kph speed, 102 mm penetration. It could kill allied medium tanks and light tanks, Shermans and Chaffees, the Stuarts really easily. T-34s are LE variants. If you know where to aim, that is right between the turret and the hull, or from the side on the turret. A really potent weapon, really fast. It has same reverse speed as its max forward speed. So yeah, you can just zoom in and zoom out of action really quickly before the AI even knows what hit him. The STKFZ 234/4 7.5 cm pack wagon, 80 km per hour max speed, same as the other Pumas, but it comes with a non-traversable pack 75. It's basically a Puma armor card with a mounted, it literally looks like someone just strapped on a pack 75 on a Puma armored car. Really potent vehicle, much like it's this brother right here. This could just zoom in and out of battlefield very quickly. You can just micro it, press W, fast forward, aim at the enemy tank, shoot, and just zoom back at the same speed at which you came. It's really that simple. Just keep it out of enemy tank's vision, keep it hidden, don't let enemy tank see it, because it's just pretty much a one-shot kill, and don't let the enemy AT rifles deal with it. Yeah, that's your best bet. Now for the heavy boys. An honorable mention for the supporting vehicle is this Panzerkampfwagen 2 Ausführung Lux. More 60 kph speed, more than a light half track, same 2 cm gun as that of a Puma. This could also shred enemy light armor and infantry. Plus it has those smoke canisters, so you can just zoom into the battlefield, shoot some rounds, smoke, and you smoke your way out easily. Next we have the Panzer line. I'd rather avoid all of these light tanks. This one would work thanks to its heavy armor, but it is slow. But if you want a steady push into enemy objective with your front mounted on, with your 80 millimeters of frontal armor facing the enemy without any issues, and that too in the early campaign, this is the tank you should go for. This is really potent tank. Only at the front, don't expose its side. It would just get destroyed. It won't survive. The Panzerkampfwagen 2 Ausflux. This guy is really fast, would shed enemy light armor and infantry. Definitely recommend it. Now the Panzer 3 line. Big no. Yeah, this guy doesn't have, oh no, it actually has decent gun, I think. What about this guy? Yeah, I'd rather avoid these early war Panzer 3s. Go for this Panzer 3 if you have to, but until then, improvise, use anti-tank guns, specialized units, and capture enemy tanks. Or just don't capture them at all, because they have a tendency to blow, because the AI rigs the abandoned tanks or emplacements. that would just kill your infantry easily. The Panzer III line, okay, basically the same. The later ones have faster turret traverse. This one still has slow. Not recommended unless you are playing an urban map. Definitely not recommended. Next we have Panzer IV, Aus F1. Avoid the early Panzer IVs. Like, I know that you are a fan of, unless until you want to use these guys as an anti-infantry infantry role, that's good. But other than that, if you want to dedicated anti-tank panzer, this is where it starts. The dedicated panzer line, German panzer line, that where the German panzers gain the upper hand over the Soviet or American tanks. The Kampfwagen 4 aus F2, really potent weapon, a bit of a low velocity, 7.5 centimeter gun, but still it could destroy Shermans and T-34s at a distance. Don't use against the early war Soviet heavy tanks like KV1s and KV2s, but not the later war like IS-1, KV-85 and IS-2. Just avoid moving this guy against them unless it's at a better position and can shoot them from the side. Just avoid direct confrontation with Soviet and American heavies. Next we have Panzer IV aus Edge, highly recommended, especially with those side skirts that can stop the enemy anti-tank rifle rounds, which get really annoying as they could track your tank and trap it there. And if you don't have your infantry aside, it's as good as dead. Like, that's all I can say. The Wirbelwind, as I had mentioned earlier, a really potent anti-air gun against the anti-air weapon against the enemy airstrike, which happen quite often in this mod. Definitely recommend. Don't go for this guy. Go for this guy instead. Or if you want this guy to be supported by Ostfront as an anti-infantry vehicle, yeah, definitely go for this then. Now we are into the big cat league: Panther, Tiger, King Tiger, Jagdtigers, Jagdpanther, and how could I forget the Stug? Never mind, let's cover Stug as well. Stug 3 aus F, the early war long barrel variant, same gun as Panzer IV aus F2, and same penetration values. A little bit light on the armor, but it also has additional armor, so yeah, that shouldn't worry you. It could deal with early war T-34s, the ones armed with 76mm, but anything beyond that, like Russian T-34 57mm or 85, could easily destroy it, no problem at all. Same in this guy, early war. No, yeah, this one's a tough cookie. This one is really hard to destroy with the T-34, but if it manages to get a shot over here in the vision slit or underneath, yeah, it's pretty much gone. Now this is where things get interesting. The late war variant, it has a automatically traversable MG34, I guess, yeah, MG34 on it. So even though its main gun is facing forward, you don't have to turn it around to face the enemy infantry. As this gun is shooting at enemy tank, this gun would be just slaughtering enemy infantry in and around like left, right and center, everywhere. Really, just a really dangerous weapon if you ask me. Definitely recommended. The big boy Sturmhaubitze 42, like, really, I avoid this guy. No, I definitely recommend this over the Brummbär and the Sturmhauser right here, because unlike these heavy hitters, this guy is like really mobile. Yeah, 40 km/h. Like, you can easily move in and around, zoom in and around, shoot, and just reposition yourself easily. really, and its heat shell could outright just demolish enemy KV1s and T-34, 85 even in the late war. So yeah, definitely recommend it. As for the Jagdpanzer line, I don't recommend going for this, even though that they are better armored. You're fine off with the Stug line, because it has what can I say? Yeah, look at this. Even though it's a late war, it doesn't have that automatic reversible MG gun. So yeah, it's pretty much dead if any infantry come closer to it. The Panzer Schreck or Panzerfaust. I definitely recommend you this guy, the late war variant. Next we have the, okay, let's start with the big cats. Panther line, Panther Aus D, Panther Aus A, and Panther Aus G. Not much of a difference. No, there's a difference between this guy and these two. This guy has is a bit less on the armor side. These ones have upgraded turret armor, and that turret armor is right here, just underneath the mantlet, because this is where the turret shot trap happened the most of the time. So the Germans just added another layer of armor there. And as compared to this guy, these guys have the cupola mounted MG34, really useful, but these guys have tad bit slower speed than the Panther D. So it isn't much of a difference, because all three of these have slow reverse speed. So you are fine off with any of these you like. I mostly go for this guy. Keep it at range. It's like a tank destroyer with a turret. So yeah, it's better to keep it at range. Keep its flanks covered, because it's weak. Its armor is not existence on the side, but at the front it can't be killed easily, unless a fluke shot lands right here somewhere. T-34, Shermans, nothing can kill it from up front. Like, I don't think even Firefly can kill it. It's the only Sherman variant that could reliably kill it from the up front. If it gets lucky, because even that round would bounce its upper glasses easily if it is angled slightly to the side like this, or even more like this. Other than that, very potent weapon. Next we have the Tiger line. Okay, for the new ones who are joining the Call to Arms Gates of Hell Ostfront, Conquest or Conquest Enhanced, don't get confused between the Tiger and the Panther. Both have their strengths and weaknesses. This one is a brawler. This can take hits and deliver hits, but its frontal armor cannot stand the T-34 85 rounds if it's in like 100 meters. This range is basically 1 kilometer. So yeah, 1 kilometer in real life, or 100 meters here. It cannot stand against the T-34 85 round. It would just straight up go up in flames. Same with the Sherman, Firefly or the EZ8. They would just straight up penetrate the frontal armor or the lower frontal plate of the Tiger one. But it has a better side armor than the Panther, so it has more chance of surviving side hits if it's angled like this. Make sure to angle your Tiger like this, or a bit like this, so it has more survivability, more chance of surviving against enemy hits. Overall, good tank. And Panzerkampfwagen Tiger Aus E, much more improved, has a smaller cupolas to help against those cupola shots from War Thunder Place. Anyway, and has MG34 mounted machine gun, really dangerous weapon. The Tiger Aus E Ace, yep, this is great for role playing in Normandy campaign. I mean, if you like role playing Michael Wittmann or the Kurt Nispel, then yeah, definitely go for this guy. Then we have the King Tiger, the big beast, the boss in the tiger line. Okay, you might argue that Yak Tiger is the big boss here, but just like as I said, in the eastern front it would suffer because a lot of open space. You could easily get flanked by the AI in this mod, and they would just straight up obliterate it with 85s and 76s. But this King Tiger here, it cannot get flanked easily. I've played it the last time, and it would just straight up demolish the enemy medium armor or heavy armor unless the ISU 152 sends the high explosive shell right at his face. It would just cease to exist. It couldn't fight back. It won't be necessarily destroyed, unlike the Tiger 1 or Panther or Panzer 4, but the gun could be knocked out. The two of the crew members up front would die, or one at least in the turret. So yeah, only that thing can deliver severe damage to this. Other than that, this is a very really dangerous weapon for heavy pushes. As for if you are asking about honorable mentions, I'd rather go for Yak Panther as a tank destroyer. It has a cannon of a King Tiger but a speed of a Panther. You can easily destroy enemy tanks at range, relocate, and destroy them from the flank. Really great tank destroyer. As for these guys, I'd rather avoid these. This one is slow, this one is a glass cannon, this one's slow, this one is really slow, until you are playing in the Normandy sector, Normandy theater, or Belgium, where there is a lot of urban environment and enemy infantry is hiding among the buildings. You can just yeet this massive 380 millimeter monster in the city center and just level the entire place. This thing is deadly in urban environment. Other than that, yeah, avoid this for the eastern front. It's just pretty much a sitting duck if its tracks are blown apart or any other thing. Side armor really weak. It's basically a Tiger 1 hull which has been up armored at the front with a slope. Other than that, at the side it's pretty much a glass cannon. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I'd like to hear about your opinions on which units, infantry or tanks, you'd rather go with the most. Because okay, I had a wide selection of tanks because nearly every German tank past Panzer 4 Aus 2 is really capable of dealing with enemy tanks and enemy emplacements. So yeah, that's why this list was long. As for infantry, I have used a lot, but I found the Brandenburgers and the Sturmjägers to be more effective than any. They're quick, they're easily they cannot be easily uprooted from their positions, especially the Brandenburgers with their field of view. They can see quite far and they can shoot quite far as compared to regular enemy infantry, regular friendly infantry, pardon me. So that would be all. We'll meet you in the next one. Peace.